Okay, so this probably should have been all part of one video, but it's going to end up being two videos because I didn't have this idea until I did the previous video. So I talked about, tactical strength and conditioning, um, and how it's ridiculous that we have these people out there claiming to be, oh, you're a tactical strength and conditioning coach, and you have no tactical experience. And then you come up with these ridiculous things like we're going to do French contrast. We're going to do triphasic. We're going to talk about long-term athlete development. Motherfucker. Yeah, I swore in the first minute. I know. YouTube's going to be upset. Listen here. There is no long-term athlete development. You're going to be on deployment. This isn't a game. This isn't a sport. I actually don't even like referring to military as athletes. Not because they aren't athletic, they're very athletic. The demands of an athlete. This is so much more serious than sports. This is much more than being an athlete. And so I feel like it's actually insulting that you think you're going to train them like athletes, because athletes have an off season. They know what day game day is. You can't afford to train that way. Now, I'm going to talk about self-coaching, okay? Because some of you are in the military. Some of you have to coach yourself. And so I'm going to tell you what lessons I learned from other people. I had very good people teach me how they trained. I had conversations with amazing people like Tom Greer, who explained to me how they trained. And of course, we know how certain people like Stanley McChrystal trained. What they all have in common is much more important than what they did differently. Okay? There were guys who did a lot of weightlifting. There were guys who did a lot of body weight PT. There were guys who did a lot of suspension trainer stuff like TRX. But you know what they all have in common? Running. Stanley McChrystal gets up and goes for a 7.5 mile run every day. That's impressive. And one time in a conversation with Tom, he told me he gets up and runs for just a 3 mile run every day. That's how he starts his day. He may run more than that. He starts the day with a 3 mile run. He may run multiple times in a day, but it starts with a run. When you talk to these guys, they all run. I know, I did a video on this previously where I talked about the importance of running. Yeah, I do find that to be rather humorous. You'll find these tactical guys, they have the latest night vision goggles, and they have optics, and they have all this shit like that, but they can't run a 6-minute mile. Let me point something out to you. I don't care how much money you spend on optics and cool Gucci gear, okay? If you can't pick up an AK-47 off the ground and put your second round on target, and a lot of you will understand why I said the second round. If you can't put your second round on target with an AK-47 that you've never touched before in your entire life, you need to be able to pick that up off the ground, and by the second round you put that one on target. There is no reason for you to be spending money on Gucci gear. Because you don't have the basic skills. If you can't pick up a Glock off the ground, one that you've never fired before, and put the second round on target, you're wasting your time. You don't even have basic skills. Why did I say second round? Well, for those of you who understand, you already know the answer. For those of you who don't know, first off, we're going to use iron sights, so you don't have some fancy scope or something. And what you're going to do is you're going to fire that first round. You're going to see where that first round impacts, and then you're going to compensate for it. So if the sights are off, you're going to compensate for it, and you will put your second round on target. Same thing for that Glock. You're going to pick up that Glock iron sights. You're going to fire it. You're going to see where that first round goes, and you will put your second round on target, because you will compensate if the sights are off. That's a basic skill. If you don't have that basic skill, you're wasting your time on all the other shit. You don't have the physical ability to run through an obstacle course, you're a liability. You're not an asset. You're a liability to your family. You're a liability to your team. You're a liability. You don't have basic fitness. If you can't pull yourself over a wall, you're not very useful. You're a liability. Plain and simple. I would rather have a guy who weighs 135 pounds that can pull himself over a wall with, a full kit on, or climb a caving ladder with full kit on, than have some dude who can bench press 500 pounds. I don't give a shit how much you bench press. There are no barbells on the battlefield. This isn't some kind of weird flex, though, because if you can bench press 500 pounds and you run a 5-minute mile, then rock on. You're the all-dancing shit of the world. The point being that if you had to choose between the two, you want to choose the guy who can carry his own weight. So, my point being here, okay, the demands of a tactical athlete you are coaching yourself, you're going to want to make sure you have running in there as something very important for you. And personally, I think a lot of people do too much long distance and slow running. I would lean towards running sprints. I will tell you right now, the best thing I did for improving my mile time was focusing on the 400 meters. I trained like I was trying to run the 400 meters. And my mile time went down, 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 down. Rarely did I run a mile. I ran a lot of 400 repeats. Well, get faster. If you get faster, you're going to run faster, even on longer distances. This is just the way it works, guys. A lot of sprint repeats, 400-meter repeats. And in fact, you could even do something almost like a fartlek run, where you run 400, walk 400, run 400, walk 400, run 400, walk 400. And I promise you, you will make progress. You'll improve your endurance, and you'll get faster. I know, it sounds too easy. No, simple works. It's not easy. If you're running that 400 meters as hard as you possibly can, which is how you're supposed to run it, it's not easy. Simple, yes. The other thing to consider here is that you should not be training to failure when you do train. That makes you a liability. Oh, I squatted yesterday. I'm so sore that I can't run today. I'm so sore I can't walk today. I did deadlifts. My back is so fucked up I can't function today. I did so many push-ups and bench presses yesterday that I can't lift my arms. I did so many pull-ups that I can't bend my arm. Okay, that's stupid training. Training to failure is for people who don't have to be ready for anything. You want to know what bodybuilders do? I'm not joking with you. This is 100% serious. And if you doubt me, just go listen to any of these podcasts, okay? I want to say, is it Chris Tuttle and Milos Sarcev that have, the IFBB AMA thing? I feel like it is. Could be wrong. And I might even have the wrong podcast. I was listening to a podcast the other day, though, and this guy was commenting on how most bodybuilders do nothing but train, eat, and sit on the couch playing video games. Well, yeah, you can go ahead and squat to failure. You can fucking destroy yourself if all you have to be prepared for is to sit on the couch, eat, watch TV, and play video games. You can't do that. Especially, imagine yourself as a law enforcement officer. You have to go to work tomorrow, and you might be in a foot chase. Yes, the adrenaline will save you, but maybe you want to be fresh for that. Similarly, you're on deployment. Maybe you don't want to train to failure to the point where you can't lift your arms up anymore. Maybe CrossFit isn't a great idea because you're going to do this all-out intensity and fry yourself. Okay, so let's train intelligently, and let's look at something. I'm not inventing the wheel here. I'm just telling you what wheel to focus on. Dan John's Easy Strength. There you go. Pavel Tsatsouline's Power to the People. Grease the groove. You don't have to train to failure. You don't have to wreck yourself. You don't have to destroy yourself. You want to know the secret to getting really strong without having to kill yourself in the gym? I'll tell you right now, people are often surprised that this is not that impressive. but for some odd reason, it doesn't seem to impress people. I at a body weight of 155 pounds, I was able to strict overhead press 225 for a set of 3. You want to know how I did it? It'll blow your mind. I just came in and did sets of 5, 3 sets of 5 every day. Yeah, it's too easy, right? Yeah, and I just came in and I started off really light. I just started off with 95 pounds on the bar. I did 3 sets of 5, and that was what I did. And then I did 105 pounds for 3 sets of 5. And then I did 115 pounds for 3 sets of 5. And I just consistently stuck to this. And the funny thing is, actually, eventually I got to a point where I would do 2 sets of 5 3 times a day. So I had like 155 pounds on the bar by that time, and I just left it on the bar. And I would step into the garage and do a set of 5, and I would wait 3 minutes and do another set of 5, and I was done. I'd go out with my day doing other things. And I did that 3 times a day. 2 sets of 5 with 155, which was way below my 1 rep max. And I never tested my 1 rep max. I never went hard. I never went to the point of failure. Just easy sets. And when it got too easy, I put another 5 pounds on or another 10 pounds on. And then one day, I was just like, I wonder if I can press 225 for a single. And I pressed it. And it felt so easy, I thought, I think I'll try a second rep. And it felt easy, so I did a third rep. Now that one actually did feel hard. And I just stopped there. Maybe I could have done 4. Maybe I could have done 5. I have no idea what I was capable of. I picked up that bar planning to press 225 for a single, and it just felt so easy that I did 2 more reps. It's magic. Dan John talks about this sometimes. You probably heard it referred to as like the what the hell effect, or the what the fuck effect, or whatever you want to call it. Dan talks about this with the 10,000 swings. This weird thing happens when you train below your threshold. You see, you are stimulate, don't annihilate. You are stimulating this adaptation, and you are not burying yourself, so you recover from it every single time. And so you're stimulating adaptation, adapting, and making progress without having to bury yourself. Is that the fastest way to make progress? Probably not. Is it an effective way to make progress? Definitely yes. So let's just jump to what I'm doing currently, because I do it 7 days a week. Same workout every time too. I bench and pull up. It's a superset. I do bench press and pull up. Okay? And once in a while I get bored because, I am me. And so, typically I'll do 10 sets of 3. So 3 bench press, 3 pull-ups. 3 bench press, 3 pull-ups. And I just go back and forth between the two. It's 225 pounds. This is not hard. And every once in a while on my 10th set, I'll just be like, I'm going to rep out. And I'll get like 12 reps. I never even risk failure. And I'm never sore the next day. And then I'll do behind the neck presses. And I purposely go light on that. I only use 135 pounds because I'm just trying to get the reps in. So I do sets of 5. And I do that for the mobility purpose. This isn't to build strength. What's funny and weird, though, is I've been doing this for a while, and then the one day I just randomly decided to put 185 on the bar, and I pressed it 3. Behind the neck. Set of 3 with 185 behind the neck press. That wasn't even risking failure there. And I haven't done anything other than just sets of 5 with 135. That's also a superset. 5 reps behind the neck, 3 pull-ups. And then I squat. And I just put 225 on the bar. And I just do a whole bunch of singles. Sometimes I rest 30 seconds between them. Sometimes I rest 45 seconds between them. I never rest more than a minute between them. So I will bang out 20 singles with 1 minute rest. I'll just set a stopwatch up. That's EMOM, right? The whole CrossFit thing on the minute. And once in a while, I'll do something like, I think I'll do a double. Every third set I'll do a double. So single, single, double, single, single, double, single, single, double, with 1 minute rests. This is not a heavy weight. I'm just getting the reps in. My legs are never sore. I'm never tired. And then I'll deadlift, and I'll do something like, 5 sets of 10 with 185, or I'll do 5 sets of 5 with, 235 to 255. Maybe I'll do 5 sets of 3 with 325. Really easy, really light. This is nowhere near my max, which is why I'm capable of doing it every day. You understand? I train so light and so easy that I can do it every day. If I went heavy, if I went hard, I would not be able to do this daily, okay? And the point that I'm trying to share here is that this is ideal for you people out there who need to have a state of readiness that you can't be sore the next day. Train lighter than you think you need to. Do you have to do easy strength 2 sets of 5? No, you don't. You could do what I'm doing, 10 sets of 3, okay? Or 10 sets of 5 in the behind the neck press. The catch here is you have to keep it light. Doing 20 to 30 front squats, whether you break them up as singles or doubles or triples, if you keep the weight light, you can do it every day. If you go heavy, you can't do it every day. So what I do is I think of this as I'm trying to raise the floor, not the ceiling. This is not my max. I'm trying to raise my baseline. There's a million ways for you to program this, okay? And the other thing that I do, without fail, every day, no matter what, push-ups, walking lunges or alternating lunges, depending on how much space I have, because I had to train in a hotel room for the last week, so I did just in-place alternating reverse lunges, okay? Otherwise, I prefer walking lunges, push-ups, pull-ups, basic sit-ups, basic body weight movement, leg levers, flutter kicks. I just get some in. Bare minimum, I'm going to do 100 push-ups, bare minimum. And I do that every day, and I'm never sore because I do it every day. So at some point, it just becomes like going for a walk. Are you sore after going for a walk? No, you aren't. But you know what? If you didn't walk for 3 months and you went for a walk, you'd be crazy sore. If you go for a walk every day, eventually it just becomes part of your daily routine. So if you do this daily, it just becomes part of your daily routine. You're not even sore anymore. Am I telling you that this is the best way to train? No, it's not the best way to train. This is not going to make you an elite level athlete. But this is a way for you to efficiently self-coach and not bury yourself. This is just my opinion. I'm sure some of you out there are going to hate it. I don't really care. Oh, and the other thing, I totally forgot about this. Sled pushes. I'm big on sled pushes. I love pushing the sled. I do it every day. And go for a run. And I don't care how you run. Some days I run and I do a mile. Some days I gallop on the treadmill, I set it for 10 miles per hour and just run for 6 minutes. That's actually very easy. Treadmill running is super easy, well, depending on your treadmill. So a lot of the treadmills now, if you have a good quality treadmill, actually have like these really great like shock absorbers in them. Fantastic. It's one of the smartest things out there that people have done in treadmill technology. I hate treadmills. I absolutely hate treadmills. I recognize that this is a very good tool. Now they have these shock absorption things. Some days I will just do 1 minute on, 1 minute off. Some days I will do 2 minutes on, 1 minute off. Some days I will do, 400 meter repeats, okay? My run workout takes 10 to 15 minutes. I am not running long distances anymore. Not gonna do it. So I'll do like a 4-minute warm-up, run for 6 minutes on the treadmill, and I'm done. That's 10 minutes. It's nothing. It's nothing at all. Think about that. 10 minutes out of your day. You can find 10 minutes in your day. And you know what? It doesn't even really matter what speed you run it at. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, you have to set it for 12 or you have to set it for 10 or whatever. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to warm up for 4 minutes at an easy pace. And then you're going to choose a pace that's hard. I don't care what it is. If it's 8 miles per hour for you, then it's 8 miles per hour. If it's 10 miles per hour for you, then it's 10 miles per hour. Whatever it is. Something that feels hard, but not isn't maximal. We're not going to We're not going to burn ourselves. So if you run a 5-minute mile, go ahead and set it for like a 6-minute mile pace. And then just run for 5 to 6 minutes. And eventually you'll be able to push the speed up. It's really that simple. That's 10 minutes no matter what. So 4-minute warm up, 6 minutes of running at whatever speed is hard for you. There you go. You do that every day. Eventually you do it and you're never even sore. Okay? Same thing for like the 400s or the fartlek run of like 1 minute on, 1 minute off, or 2 minutes on, 1 minute off. Make it easy. Don't kill yourself. Run hard, but don't max out. Think of it like lifting weights. You're going to run at 80% of your effort. Not 100%, like 80% effort. That's sustainable. You can do that every day because you're going to keep it short. You're going to keep your running workout less than 15 minutes, and that's how you can do it daily. Okay? This is not intended for those of you who are preparing for selection. This is for those of you who are self-coaching and aren't preparing for some PST or selection. For those of you preparing for some special test or selection, you will need to prepare for the test. You will need to prepare for the selection. This is your baseline. This is like your off-season program, if you will. I hate that fucking term. You are not off-season ever. That's the reality of being a tactician or a tactical operator or whatever you want to call it. There is no off-season for the quiet professionals, but this would essentially be this is just your baseline GPP. That's what it really is. This is your general preparedness. This is what you do when you're not preparing for selection or a test, and this is sustainable. The catch, as I have pointed out repeatedly though, is to train with light weights. Don't base your weights off of my weights either. They're all relative, okay? I go nowhere near max, ever. It's not worth it, okay? Even my max deadlift of a 455 is double overhand, no hook grip, and I am not straining. There's no hitching, there's no straining. It either comes up easy or it doesn't. I won't risk getting injured. My 355 front squat is down and up. It's not sloppy. My back isn't rounding. I'm not grinding through it. I won't risk injury by trying to max out to impress people. Because even if I squatted 405, no one would give a shit. That's not impressive. There's nothing impressive about a 165-pound guy squatting 405 as a front squat. That's not impressive. No one will care. It's not going to make me internet famous. It's not going to win me a gold medal. Stop lifting to try to impress people, because no one gives a shit. Be a professional. Do things to improve your baseline. Raise the floor. Stop focusing on the ceiling. But you didn't need me to tell you that, because you already are. If you are a professional, then you're already a professional. So you didn't need me to tell you how to be professional. For those of you who don't know how to be professional, take some advice from the guys who are professionals. They put in the work. They're not looking for recognition. That's the way to be. Anyways, I hope that this was useful. This is just an example of how to do it. You don't have to do it this way. You could have all dumbbell work. There's no reason you can't. You could have all suspension trainer work. You could do whatever you like. The point is, though, that you're going to pick something. You're going to keep the volume and the intensity low enough that you can do it every day. And then gradually and slowly over time, you will just add 5 pounds because it is so easy. You press 225 for a set of 5 so easily. It doesn't make you sore, it doesn't make you tired. It's just so damn easy. Now you go to 235. And whenever you can bench that for 5 reps so easily that it doesn't even cut into your recovery, then you go to 245. And you just slowly keep raising the floor. And that is an amazing way for you to train. Easy strength, power to the people, whatever you want to call it, grease the groove. You are basically going to purposely undertrain but you're going to make up for undertraining by doing it frequently. Radical concept.